Hello, dear people. This is Ruben de Jong from the Netherlands, Rotterdam, a harbor city. A few years ago, me and my family, my wife and my son, we moved to the south of this city. And from the first day on, we started to pray for our neighbors. And there was one neighbor especially, he was living above us, where our heart was breaking for. And we really felt love for him. We felt the love of Jesus Christ for him. And we started to pray for him, specifically. And actually, after a few months, nothing really happened. And it was even so that he was not willing to be in contact with us. He was not willing to have coffee, or he was just living his own life. And then at a certain moment, we decided to pray in another way. And we decided to say, Lord, it would be better for our neighbor to stay awake, to be awake during the night and see you in the face than that he is sleeping. And for 3 months we were praying like this. And we said, Lord, please touch his heart in the same way that you touched our hearts and our lives. And then after 3 months, this neighbor was knocking at our door. And he said, yeah, neighbor, I want to have a coffee with you. This is the moment, because I have a question for you. I understood that you are kind of a pastor, you're a Christian, and I have a question in that direction. And then my heart was really shaking like this. And he was on our couch, and then he said, neighbor, listen, for 3 months now, I am not able to sleep during the nights. And when I am awake, I see Jesus Christ. And I'm thinking about Jesus Christ. And on internet, I found out that once Jesus will return to this earth and he will take all the Christians, but what would happen with my life? And you can understand, this evening we talked about it, and this man gave his life to Jesus. Until today, it's such a testimony for our lives. But the story is not ending there. We found out that this man was part of a gang. He was part of a hooligan gang in Holland. And until today, several of those guys that are part of this gang and their families are now followers of Jesus Christ. They have seen Jesus in their life. They have accepted the love of Jesus Christ and are now following Jesus Christ from day to day. And it encourages me to stay praying. And it reminds me of the story in Luke 11 where Jesus is explaining his disciples how to pray. And first he shares the Lord's Prayer, we know as the Lord's Prayer. And then he shares this parable about two friends. One friend knocking at the door of the other friend who is asleep and who owns some bread where the other friend is asking for. And he knocks and knocks and knocks and yells and he says, I need this bread in order to feed my visitors. And then Jesus says in Luke 11 verse 8, he says, this friend will stand up from his bed and will give the bread he owns to this friend because his friend is asking so but with persistence and so unashamed. And then Jesus speaks his famous words where he repeats that those that are praying will receive, and those that knock, there the door will be opened for. And dear brothers and sisters, let us have this spirit to pray for those people that are restless, that are in need for bread. And let us pray at the door of the Father and remind the Father that a huge price was paid for you and my life, but also for the souls around us, and that the Father is the only one who is able to feed those people around us. Good prayer is not about me being great. It's about the great price that has been paid through the life and death and resurrection of Jesus Christ for you, for me, and the people around us. Be encouraged. Be blessed. Bye-bye.